If I told you that in the next few minutes, you'd learn techniques powerful enough to change how people respond to you forever, would you use them carefully? Because here's the truth nobody likes to admit. Every single day, you are being influenced by friends, by ads, by your boss, by strangers on the internet. The only question is whether you stay unaware or you learn how it works. And today, I'm going to give you 9 psychological tactics so effective that even Niccolo Machiavelli would nod in approval. Not to turn you into a villain, but to make sure you're never powerless again. You value learning how human nature really works. Raw, unfiltered. Subscribe right now. This channel isn't about surface level advice. It's about leverage. Now, let's get into it. The first trick is the power of contrast. Humans don't judge things in isolation. We judge them compared to something else. If you want someone to say yes to something big, present something bigger first. If you want someone to think your price is reasonable, anchor it against a higher one. Real life example. You ask your boss for a 15% raise. That sounds insane. They resist. Then you settle for 8%. Suddenly, 8% feels reasonable. You didn't change the number. You changed the comparison. Stores do this constantly. Luxury brands put a $5,000 jacket next to a $900 jacket. The $900 one suddenly feels affordable. In conversations, you can use this ethically by framing opportunities in comparison to inaction. If you don't invest in this skill now, imagine where you'll be in 5 years. You're not forcing anyone, you're shifting perception. Second, the rule of reciprocity. People feel psychological discomfort when they owe someone. If you give first, genuinely, most people feel compelled to give back. This is not about fake generosity. That backfires. This is about strategic value. Help someone without immediately asking for something. Offer insight. Make an introduction. Solve a small problem. Then, when you ask for something later, it doesn't feel like a demand. It feels like balance. You'd be shocked how many doors opened simply because you were the first to create value. But here's the brutal truth. If you always take first, people label you as selfish. If you give first, they label you as trustworthy. Third, controlled silence. Okay? Most people are uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill it. They overshare. They concede. When you make a request, stop talking. Let the silence stretch. In negotiations, whoever speaks first after an offer usually loses ground. Silence creates pressure, and pressure reveals intentions. This works in dating, business, even arguments. Say your point clearly, then stop. The other person will often talk themselves into your position just to escape the tension. Fourth, identity manipulation. And yes, that sounds harsh. People act consistently with how they see themselves. Instead of telling someone what to do, tell them who they are. You're someone who keeps their word. You strike me as a decisive person. You care about growth. When you frame behavior as part of their identity, they feel compelled to live up to it. Parents use this unconsciously. Leaders use it intentionally. But don't lie. Anchor it in something real. People can smell fake praise. Fifth, scarcity and urgency. Humans value what feels limited. When something seems abundant, we delay. When it seems scarce, we move. This is why deadlines work. This is why limited spots fill faster. But here's the deeper layer. Scarcity isn't just about time. It's about access. Make your attention valuable. Don't always be available. Don't always reply instantly. Don't always say yes. When you're constantly accessible, your value drops. When your time is limited, your presence becomes powerful. Sixth, the foot in the door effect. Start small. If you want someone to commit to something big, ask for something small first. A tiny yes builds psychological momentum. Sign a free trial. Attend a short meeting. Read 1 page. Once someone sees themselves as the type of person who said yes, they're more likely to stay consistent. Consistency is a prison we willingly lock ourselves into. Seventh, emotional labeling. When someone is emotional, instead of arguing facts, Label their feeling. K. It sounds like you're frustrated. You seem concerned about the risk. You're worried this won't work. When you name an emotion, it reduces its intensity. It makes people feel understood. And people who feel understood are easier to influence because resistance drops. This isn't manipulation in the evil sense. It's emotional intelligence, weaponized. 8th, the power of strategic vulnerability. People trust those who appear human. If you act flawless, people subconsciously distance themselves. If you reveal controlled vulnerability, a mistake you learned from, a struggle you overcame, people lean in. It makes you relatable. It lowers defenses. But here's the key. Vulnerability must be resolved. Don't share open wounds. Share scars. Show growth. That balance creates authority and connection at the same time. 9th, outcome framing. The same request can be framed as a gain or a loss, and humans are more motivated to avoid loss than to pursue gain. Instead of saying, you'll gain $5,000 by investing, say, you're leaving $5,000 on the table if you don't. Instead of, you'll improve your health, say, if nothing changes, imagine your energy 5 years from now. Loss aversion is one of the strongest forces in human behavior. But here's where I need to get real with you. These tools are powerful. And power without self-control turns you into exactly the type of person you claim to hate. Machiavelli understood human nature, but he also understood consequences. If you use these tactics to exploit, deceive, or manipulate people into harmful decisions, it will come back to you. Reputation spreads, trust erodes, influence collapses. Real influence isn't about forcing people, it's about aligning their interests with yours. The highest level of persuasion is when the other person believes the idea was theirs, and that only works long-term if what you're offering actually benefits them. Okay, so here's the life-changing part. Most manipulation videos won't tell you. The strongest position in any interaction is abundance. If you are desperate, these tactics feel slimy. If you are grounded and valuable, they feel natural. Work on your skills, build real value, strengthen your character. Okay, then use these psychological principles as amplifiers, not crutches, because the real game isn't controlling people. It's understanding them deeply enough that you don't need to control them. And if this opened your eyes even a little, if you learned something you can apply today, hit like, subscribe, and stay close, because the more you understand human nature, the less it controls you.